Okay, let me finish on the last news. And last news is about International Labor Organization. Basically, the International Labor Organization condemns Belarus's violation of union rights. Why is it? What's going on here? It is because, and this is I think the second time that International Labour Organization adopted a resolution under Article 33 of its constitution challenging Belarus's continuing disregard for workers' rights and the arrest of countless trade unionists. Why does it matter? What is the context of it all? The thing is, in 2020, people started to realize that union workers, which are factory workers in many cases, started to realize that they might have some power, and they started to organize protests between like the unionized sort of workers at the factories. And why does it matter? Because Belarus is highly sort of highly kind of monopolized country, if you want to say. Like there are very many, not very many, there are many sort of big centralized governmentally owned big factories who employ a lot of people, and there are unions there. They're absolutely kind of a joke of unions, really. However, it is workers, it is their right to unionize, it is their right to actually do protests and sort of, withhold their labor. They're not slaves, they're not imprisoned, and so they have the right. And so people started to actually people started the leaders, I would say, right, like of the opposition movement at that time, started to tell people, hey, let's just not work tomorrow, let's just protest. They can't do anything. And unfortunately, because there's been, well, about probably at this point 100 years of basically making sure that people do not and cannot kind of organize together, unfortunately didn't last that long. Um, but what happened basically after that is that those union leaders have been jailed and then sentenced up to 15 years in prison. More than 40 unionists have been sentenced up to 15 years of imprisonment. And again, that was in 2020 when the protests were happening, when the elections were completely stolen from the people, because people had enough of this fucking mustache dictator, fucking cockroach cunt. And so that's the news, right? I'm gonna put once again links for all of that. What is happening in official Belarusian sort of media? ILO stands towards Belarus slammed as extremely biased. That's official. Belta is like a propagandist garbage. This is basically like a governmental spokesperson fucking shit. Right? Those people who call themselves free trade unions in Belarus and who are supposed to protect workers demand sanctions against workers of their own country and call for harm and damage. This is nothing but a betrayal of people's interests. Blah blah blah. I still don't understand how Belarus and Russia are still like in those organizations, because it's like it's insane. But I didn't start it for nothing, right? Like this is actually sort of a great article by sort of the government body of the International Labor Organization. This is just like for people if they want to sort of take a deep dive in what is actually happening sort of in the country. I mean, obviously, like nobody gives a fuck about Belarus when you have like Russia, but it's really interesting that this the governing sort of body actually documented all these cases, what happened, to whom, for what, and they actually put it all here in this document in English language, and it's pretty remarkable actually. I'm very surprised that, I'm very surprised that this organization actually cared about the workers in Belarus, and actually again sort of wrote down basically all of what they've done and what Belarusian sort of state claims, and why it matters is that this organization will be basically they can't really force anyone. They will recommend. Yeah, they will recommend. The committee urges the government of Belarus to take necessary measures to ensure that no person is detained. Blah blah blah. This whole shit doesn't really matter because Belarus is a total dictatorship that will never listen to any of that until the regime actually falls. But what this committee actually recommends is for other countries to implement more sanctions and stop trading with Belarus until those issues will be resolved, which is exactly one measure that can actually harm, at least to some extent, this regime. Because even though right now, obviously after the invasion, after the country of Belarus is basically complacent in the invasion of Ukraine, most countries kind of at least try to mostly stop trading, but now there might be even more sanctions, which is, even though I'm living here and I'm going to be facing all the sanctions and all the hardships that might come with it, I'm all for it 100%, because if even something hurts this regime, this is great. This is a victory. But what I wanted to say and I wanted to actually show you is that if you search the same sort of thing, International Labor Organization, Международная организация труда, МОТ, a resolution about Belarus, right? But if you type it in Russian language, first link, Zerkalo.io, not available. Few of them actually are available, which I don't even know how. But then, so again, this is first one, link for an independent resource, not available. Second one, it did open at some point, I remember, but apparently doesn't open. Belta, this is official sort of propagandist garbage. It will open, but it's gonna be propaganda. Okay. Well, Reformation apparently did open, but I don't know whose resource is this, but I'm just saying, right? Like first link on actual real information does not work, and the third link for the stupid for the fucking stupid shit didn't work. And look at the spin. 162 delegates did not support resolution of MOT for Belarus. Do you understand what's happening? So the resolution was have been passed, right? And it's been passed by I think like 300 to something. Yeah, 300 to 54 votes. 300 voted for this resolution, 54 voted no, but 100 something didn't vote at all. And so this is what the propaganda does. So they summarized those who voted against and those who did not vote. And instead of saying that labor organization passed the resolution, they said that 162 delegates did not vote for this resolution. Do you see? Do you see what they're doing? So if somebody searches again about this resolution, somehow they've heard about it. First link to the real resource will be blocked. Second one will be just quick, like, oh yeah, they did it. And third one will be from the Belarusian piece of shit propagandist resource that didn't say that they passed it, that says that 162 voted no. Imagine that. And then, yeah, I am a little bit sort of, I'm a little bit, surprised that like some of these resources are still sort of available, which are kind of even like Belarusian State Technological University sort of somehow put this link here, and not the link, but put this article here, and it's kind of available, which is not all the time what happens. But then if you go sort of lower down, like some of them will be blocked 100%. Oh no, listen, Euradio is almost always blocked. I'm actually a little bit surprised. I guess something happened with their blocking fucking shit. Because usually like, Matolka will be blocked. No, listen, I don't. I guess it's maybe like this. Maybe it's Brave browser. Maybe it's doing something because usually these resources like Matolka, Euroradio, they are usually Billstat.eu. Oh, see, this one is blocked. Usually, even this one will be blocked. Matolka and Euroradio. Sputnik, that's a Russian propagandist piece of shit. If you see some news there, don't even bother. And then Charter usually is blocked as well. Again, I feel like Brave browser is doing something today, which is nice. That at least something is getting through. But again, like ONT, this is the first national television propaganda garbage, propaganda govby, propaganda garbage, SB, same shit, propaganda garbage. Is it? Or no, wait, Belarus сегодня. Yeah, of course. International Committee, whatever, passed today anti-Belarusian resolutions. You can already sort of see what the spin they're putting on it. So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to show that actually most of the time, like the news is blocked if it's like real news. But actually today, yeah, seemingly at least some of them are working, which is better than usual. I will be honest. Anyway, so yeah, again, I'll put a couple links if you care about it. I don't think anyone will care, but yeah.